You never really understand a person until you consider things from his point of view. Until you pull on his skin and you walk around in it. Those are the words of Atticus Finch in the novel To Kill a Mockingbird. And he's speaking to his young daughter, Scout. He's saying, you never really understand a person until you consider things from his point of view. You pull on his skin and you walk around in it. That book was written about the Great Depression. There was financial strife and racial inequality. It was based around a trial on rape. It was great suffering and pain, but it could have been written today because there's still pain and suffering taking place in our lives. We see it on our doorsteps. Some of us see it at our dinner tables on any given day of the week. So if we want to understand that suffering that's taking place, we've got to be able to pull on that skin and walk around in it. And how do we do that? Well, it's called empathy. Empathy is the process of connecting with another person by guessing their feelings and needs. So empathy is a process of connecting with another person by guessing their feelings and needs. Because when we're able to guess those feelings, guess those needs, we're connecting and sharing that we understand those feelings and that those needs of this other person matter. And then in doing so, we're creating the opportunity for the conflicts that are taking place between us to resolve because we now have a greater understanding. The empathy has brought us understanding of another, but it also brings us understanding of ourselves. Marshall Rosenberg in the 1960s was trying to develop a process for nonviolent living, and it became known as nonviolent communication. And its basis is really that we all have the capacity for compassion and empathy. And we can address that empathy by guessing another's feelings and needs. Because we all are seeking to have those needs met. And when we have that understanding and can acknowledge that in the communication taken between us, we can have greater cooperation, greater connection, and ultimately, we're going to have greater peace. So, when we're speaking of these needs, we're speaking about people's needs for meaning and purpose, for protection and security, for cooperation and inclusion, for inspiration and beauty, for love and for affection. Just to name some. And empathy, this understanding of another and understanding of ourselves, the more we are guessing those feelings and needs, the more we're developing and creating compassion between us, compassion within us. But we're allowing those needs that aren't based in judging them, blaming them, condemning them, we're allowing those needs to flourish and being able to be seen, to be revealed. And that within our conflicts, which are a desire for those needs to be met, there arises more possibilities, more awarenesses of what we might do to bring resolution. So at the depth, we can change the world as conflicts and as misunderstandings take place, because we can come to a greater ease of that simply because we've understood the feelings and needs. We have empathy of understanding another and understanding ourselves. Learning MVC is about a language process. It's about simply step-by-step processes that you have to practice. So it may take a while to develop fluency, but the moment, like any language, you start to understand it, even a small amount, you increase the ability of communication. And when do we want to begin that communication? I'd offer as soon as we can, young. When we're already learning about language, why not bring this language of communication in? Children are our future. Why not give them the tools to resolve conflicts and misunderstandings? Also, MVC invites a level of empathy and vulnerability and caring that probably just aren't our natural, familiar way of operating. And when we integrate this, we begin changing our own internal ability to connect. We're changing our own self-connection and our own self-acceptance. And in doing so, we're able to heal our own pain, our past and our present. So we're actually meeting our own needs. But in the recognizing those needs, recognizing these needs, we're able to come together in a strategy between two parties and have a union of helping bring resolution to conflict, resolution to misunderstandings. So MVC gives us those tools. In some ways, it's given us the tools to recognize what triggers us and to recognize that we have the responsibility of our own reaction and that we now can make another choice about a reaction that in the past may have been more conflict-inducing. But for our children, we're giving them the opportunity to learn a response that isn't based in conflict at all. It's based in communication, in empathy, understanding another and understanding ourselves. We all want a life in which our feelings and our needs are being recognized and honored. That person with us, wherever we're at, wants those same feelings and needs to be acknowledged and honored within them. MVC brings that process to us. It's available for us now. That empathy, understanding another, understanding ourselves, is just the tip of the iceberg for taking us out into the world to bringing that resolution to that conflict and that misunderstanding. Because you never really understand a person until you consider things from their point of view. You pull on his skin and you walk around in it.